Sorry about that delay there. So 19 mil, be prepared for a little bit of a mess. Walk it off a little slow. A little bit of oil in there. So it's easier to break some of this stuff loose on the truck, or on the motor, I should say. This might be in a LX470, a Sequoia, 4Runner, who knows what you guys have. Came in just about everything, like Toyota likes to do. So that's another thing. I guess I'll crack this dude loose. This is a 10 mil Allen. So I'm just going to partially take that apart. I don't want to fully disassemble the dude yet, because these bolts right here are pentalobe. So that is a TS30 pentalobe, for anybody that's curious about that. I did not have a set of these. I have all kind of security bits, but I don't have these. Never really seen them used before. So they're not torqued on there super crazy. Come on, line up with the holes there, buddy. And 4 of them. There we go. Didn't want to break loose for me, but all right, now I'm gonna thread this the rest of the way out. Hopefully this thing don't fall on me. All right, so that's out. Now you can separate the cam itself from the, put this oily mess in here. So this is a lot easier if you have somewhere that you can dirty up. A hell of a lot easier on a table as well, or a bench, or whatever you got. So let me thread these guys the rest of the way out now that I got it sitting here. So I already did my driver's side. This here's just a little Craftsman 1/4 inch impact, so these aren't on there with a whole lot of force. I don't know how much of that y'all can see now. Yeah. So now, the way my other one came apart, so if you look here, on my other one, I scribed here and here just to keep alignment on this thing. But I found out there's a little dowel hole right here, right next to the dowel itself, to where you can separate this dude without having to, try to scribe it with a razor blade or, a paint pen or anything like that. So, caveman style, just I tossed this in here. There's these little reliefs right here on this machined edge. Might not be super easy to see, but there's a little machined edge in there. And that's what I did last time, is I just I gave it a little tap, and this whole thing just separated for me. Come on now. It's been a little difficult. The last side was a bit hard to get apart, but it'd probably help if I actually had a hammer and the right tools help a lot. I'm just kind of winging it at the moment. Yep, there we go. And that's the beauty of that, is this just completely separated. All these little apex seals are still intact on there. So there's little springs, little apex seals, whatever you want to call them, for this little vane pump. That all come apart if you leave this 10 mil. Where did I put that? If you leave this 10 mil in the front of that pulley, then this entire housing tries to separate on you, and you don't want that. Do not want that. Makes it a lot harder. You have to try to slip all this crap back together, and it's not very fun. All right, so this is what we're after here, is this O-ring right here. And mine in particular are baked on there really good. I just have a little X-Acto knife to get it out. Try to catch you a little edge and pry. I have a breakaway blade, so I'm really trying not to break the blade away. Although they're not super easy to break away, but yeah, it's a little easier with a pick doing this, depending on how brittle you got of an O-ring. This may be painful to watch. Let me just try to go around this lip here without cutting myself. Now I'm trying not to put too much pressure because I don't want to cut into the recess down in there. Because if you do that, your O-ring is going to have to fight another surface to seal against. Come on now. There we go. It's starting to come up. It's also breaking. That's all right. All right, there we go. Yeah, look how brittle that is. Just chunks of it coming out. Just holds its position. It's pretty bad. So sorry if this is a low quality video. I just figured this would help some people out because I've only seen one other guy online do this, and that's how I found out, you know, how different these are. Because I've done this on my 2J, and it's all just gears, and there's actually like a little keyway inside of there, but kind of like a keyway that helps you align everything back together. But yeah, let's see here. Hopefully everything's getting picked up on the camera. There. But yeah, that's the gist of it. This part, you know, most people aren't going to need the help with how to get this O-ring out. You just kind of dig it out of there, right? Make sure you get all of it too, because otherwise you might pinch your O-ring, and you definitely don't want to do that because you'll just be right back in here doing this again. There we go. Yeah, that side's been a little more cooperative. Walk it out so it doesn't just keep breaking off. Yeah, come on out of there, buddy. Yeah, this thing is past its prime for sure. So this is actually, I know I kind of mentioned that briefly. This is actually from a newer motor, so I'm just trying to go through this motor I got. It's got, you know, 160,000 miles on it, which is not bad considering the age, but all the seals and stuff on it, you know, you just can't You don't want to trust them too much when they're this old. Gosh dang, this is just cooked in there. Couldn't have been sealing much, if any. Yeah, there we go. That's kind of working. There we go. Oh, had a good streak going there. This is what my last one was like too. It was cooked in there real bad. I had one last little piece in there. It was just totally stuck, and it looks like this one's gonna be kind of the same way. If you can't get it out of there. Yeah, don't cut towards yourself like I'm doing right now. If you guys are gonna use an X-Acto knife, I'm being kind of a bit more gentle once I get closer to my hand there. I mean, do this at your own risk. If you can cut toward yourself and you're a grown adult, do what you do, but just be careful. Just be careful. You don't wanna, Jesus. Yeah, this thing is a rock, man. Goodness. All right. Let's try and walk it around here and see if we can get this little dude to free up. At least from the sides. Let's try and cut away from myself here. My God, man. I don't think I've ever had an O-ring this bad. Usually you can just kind of pick them out. Not this thing. It's willing to fight for it. And that's another thing. If you leave this out in the open and you got chips of that O-ring flying everywhere, you know, it'd probably be smart to set this aside where you're not just flinging chunks of crap into it, because that thing's got some decent little crevices. Holy crap, man. Yeah, just get out of there. Dig that little bastard out of there. Wow. Yeah. All right, and there's quite a lot of other videos showing how to get the cam seal itself out and get a new one on. You just grab these 4 5mm Allen bolts. You take this gear off of the back. There is an alignment dowel with the 2 dots, so you can't mess that up. And then this little guy just comes off. Got the part number for that right over here. It's for the 2UZ vvti version, 90311A0004. If anybody's interested, here is the front main seal. That's a 90311A0001. And then the rear main seal is A0002. And then timing belt. I don't know if you guys want that or not, but it's 13568097070. If anybody's wondering, I probably shouldn't have touched that belt with my greasy fingers. Now I'm gonna have to brake clean it. Yeah, I just got this little chunk stuck in there. Really thought that this was gonna go a little smoother, so sorry for the sort of agonizing video to watch. I'm sure, hopefully not, hopefully you guys are getting at least some information out of this. Hopefully I'm helping somebody out. I mean, the digging out the O-ring part, maybe not so much, but once again, yeah, try not to score out this recess down in here if you can help it, because that's just going to give your O-ring less of a chance at life and sealability. I'm trying to just focus the point here on this crud, all this built up garbage on the edge here. Yeah, it's kind of a paradox scenario for me to have my old truck down. So I have a, if anybody knows me or has seen my YouTube videos, I have a built SC300 that I'm really good at braking. I've broken the rear end out of it a few times. You know, a lot of other stuff along the way over the years I've had it. At least since I've started making some power, it's, you know, pretty reliable old car if you're not beating on it all the time. Alright, trying to be gentle so I don't score all this up, and don't really want to put this shop rag in there, but that's what I got at the moment. So I'm going to clean some of that out there. Now, alright. Still some more junk down in there. Sorry guys, I may put a time lapse on this or something. Use the blunt edge here. Alright. Feels like I got everything out with my nail. Alright, now onto these here O-rings. There's another guy on YouTube that did a video, and he was nice enough to provide some specs for O-rings here. So these were a whopping $8. I think I paid another, like, I don't know, maybe $10 for the pentalobe set of bits that I got. That was a TS30 if I hadn't showed that already. But yeah, it's a McMaster car. These are not really showing the specs. Let me grab my receipt here. So that was that number right there. Hopefully that's readable. 1288N247. It's a Viton 151, 330 seconds width. And then let's see, I think it was like 3 3/16 on the OD. Yeah, You can steal a little bit of lube off of this, just a little bit, to go on this O-ring. I'm gonna put a little bit of a stretch on this dude, just not much at all, doesn't take a lot to get it to fit in this recess. It's gonna be a little tricky doing this one-handed if it wants to get stretched again. Yeah, I think it needs a little bit more stretch on it. Let's see if that'll squeeze down into the bore now. Come on now. Yeah, the other one I didn't have to put quite as much stretch on, but this one is holding kind of a weird shape, so it might have something to do with it. Did not having a second hand. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna set this back down for just a second here. See if that's stretched enough. Now, let me give it another little. Really not putting a whole lot of force on that because I don't want it to be outside of the bore there. All right, there we go. Now she's seating in there good. So just give her a little stretch until it wants to lay down into that recess nice. Because you don't want to pinch this. Yeah, it's still got that weird shape to it from sitting in that bag. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. So I'm gonna have to put a stretch on this and try to quickly just throw it together. Because it is kind of deflecting back into the form that it was in previously. So what I'm doing here is as long as this thing is still clean, I don't really have a necessarily super clean working area, so I don't want to finger this up too much. So that alignment dowel hole with the alignment dowel hole that's on here, it's right next to the actual gear dowel. I'm going to kind of place this on there like that. Let's see, do I still have everything good in there? Is it still sitting down into its recess? It's still sitting in there. I would not recommend holding this upside down in case it wants to slip out. I'm doing it just so video can have a slightly better angle to it. I'm just nervous this thing is not seated in that groove. No, it's wanting to walk out. Okay. Ain't gonna walk out no more, dude. There we go. Alright, so where's my dowel at? Let me make sure that's not gonna be a problem for me. Alright. Now, not sure what the torque spec of these would be. I don't think it needs a whole lot. And I moved it. It's a stupid thing yeah. Don't think it would need to be a whole hell of a lot. So I am just gonna throw it back in there with what took it off. I'm gonna just snug these up. because it is an O-ring. Oh, didn't like that. Every time this thing moves, it makes me nervous that it might be pinching somewhere. Yeah, it's wanting to pinch. All right. Still a hell of a lot better than dealing with this. All these little apex seals wanting to fall out on you. A whole lot better than that, I would say. God dang, this thing takes shape fast. Yeah, give it a slight overstretch there so I have some time to situate. Come on. Started. Hopefully I can get some tension on it before it wants to try to shrink that O-ring on me. Now you don't want to bird's mouth this thing, so just kind of walk these down slow and even in a 4-bolt pattern there. What I did on my last one is I kind of felt how much I had sticking out the back on these threads. Couple luggers in a dugga. This is what I was talking about back here. So I would just kind of feel on these bolts and make sure that they all felt about the same amount sticking out. Because you definitely don't want any sort of leak Alright guys, now I'd recommend throwing you some of these cam seals on there. This has been kind of way longer video than I expected to begin with, so I'm not going to show that, but literally just pull these 5mm Allens out of the back of this sucker, grease up your new seal on this inner lip down here, and then slip it on, pop it back on the cam. and y'all are good to go. All right, hopefully this helps somebody out.